It's been almost a month since you joined up and finally got the work visa stuff all squared away and officially became the head coach of the Evansville IceMen. In that span, only 2 wins. Is that kind of what you expected? How's it been for this first month into your season here?
Well, I have to correct you. We do have 3 wins.
Do you? I'm
See,
sorry.
Ryan,
Then
right
I stole one from you. That's on me. That's on me.
When I first started, and then Friday night we got our third. But,
yeah, those are tough to get, man. Don't take one away.
I'm
it
sorry.
was a long time in between those. Too long. But, no, it's been I think the players have done everything they can to try to put in what I want them to do. And it's been very difficult because we've played so many games that we haven't had a lot of practice time. And like we were talking before we came on, we finally have a week of practice where we can get some things set.
Yeah, because it felt like you guys were it was a game, and then you had a day or two, and it was another game, and then another day off.
Every other day. So it was 16 and 31 nights in January. It was kind of crazy. So we're getting things settled down now. We've traded a couple of players that I think have helped the dressing room and helped the team. And I think the guys are ready to go. And even though we didn't win on Saturday, the guys did play well. We had a 2-1 lead, and we just have some short, minute and a half, 2-minute lapses that seem to cost us, and we can't recover from them. But they're learning every game, and I hope that we can get a couple of wins this weekend.
Well, and that's one thing you said from the day we met you. You're looking for 60 full minutes of hockey every time you guys take the ice, and like you said, it can come down to a game of seconds or minutes. I mean, you slack off for a minute or two, and then that could end up costing you in the long run. What has been it's only been a month into this whole thing. What is the feeling, the consensus of the front office? Are they happy with where things are going? Is it too early to tell? What's the general consensus of the building?
Yeah, I think the feedback we've received from fans and the front office and everything has been really positive. I think the fans are happy with the effort. I think they're seeing more effort, they say, than they saw. The competitiveness that the guys are competing every night and not taking nights off. And I think there seems to be some organization, and the power plays picked up a few points here. The penalty killing dropped when I first got here, but we killed, I think, 24 off in a row, which was an Evansville record, and that was nice to see. So there have been positives along the way, and I think we want to get younger, faster, and maybe bigger and stronger, and we're continuing to make changes when we can, and people will call you every day for deals, but they have to be the right ones. And Matt Lowry was a tough one because Matt's such a great fan favorite here. Great kid. I loved him. And we just thought if we can get younger with Frazee and not lose much skill, that's the way to go. And Frazee's come in and done a great job, as has Sudak, the young kid from Rapid City.
Right.
Well, and you make all these moves, and you mentioned when you were talking about it just a second ago that it cleared up maybe a little better in the locker room as well. Let's face it. Anytime you make changes, there's personality conflicts at times. There'll be, you come in, you're going to do it my way. I mean, not that you're a hard ass, but hey, I want it done like this.
Right.
And you're going to have players that just not comfortable with that system, Coach.
Right.
Is that some to do as well with some of the moves? I mean, are you getting? I guess to narrow it all down to one quick question: are you getting the players you need to buy in?
Yeah, I think we have a group now in the dressing room that is totally bought into what we're doing, and we had individual player meetings this week. We had a couple of days where we could do that and talk to the guys for 5-10 minutes personally, ask them their feelings about the team, how we can improve the team, is there anything the coaches can do or the front office can do to make things better. And we got a real positive response from the guys. They think the 2 trades we made have really freed a lot of things up in the dressing room. I know a lot of young guys weren't confident speaking in the locker room with certain people in there, and now they are, and everybody feels they can pitch in and say things when they want to and play the way they want to without the worry of somebody saying anything about them. But I think the moves have been positive, and like I said, Sudak and Frazee have come in and provided us instant offense, which we never had, and we actually have a bona fide first line now with Patrick Kennedy and those two scoring a couple of goals every night.
Well, and I think that's one thing, too, when I see the press releases that come down the line from Sean Pooley, who obviously is your play-by-play guy, also handles the media relations with Jimmy and I and everybody else in the area between the news stations and everything else. Some of the names that have come across have been the Matt Lowrys, and you go, whoa, okay. and then it was Kale Kardashian, and then it was Kevin Harvey, and it's names that have been prominent for this squad for a duration of the season. Like you said with Lowry, a guy you loved, but when you have those kind of decisions to make, somebody comes calling saying, hey, we really like Lowry, or we like Kardashian, or we like Harvey, is it a matter of just take us through that process of weighing the pros and cons of what you're getting into what you're giving away?
Yeah, I think this league is all about young kids coming in and wanting to get to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what inspires them and motivates them more than anything else in this league, is the opportunity to get to Binghamton or the opportunity to get to the Ottawa Senators somehow.
Right.
And to do that in today's age, if you're 26, you're pretty much past it. There's not too much of an opportunity once you get 26 years old. If you're below 26, 24, 23, 22, you have that dream still.
Mm-hmm.
And, you're going to go out there every night and, you don't know who's in the stands, what scout might be there, and you're going to give it because you've got 3-4 years to make it. And I think that's what this team was lacking. I think, we had some older guys and, and don't get me wrong, guys playing for paychecks aren't bad guys. They're just have a different motivation.
Sure.
And they're playing for the money. And we got young kids playing for the next level. And I believe that those young kids are the ones you want that really are going to give it and make it easier as a coach to motivate when we have guys that age and with the dream still that we can make it up. So I think, a lot of these deals are for younger people, and we're trying to get our we're still going to need a couple of veteran players, but we want to get younger and have those guys that have that dream and are easy to motivate.
And go ahead, Jimmy, if you got
No, I was just going to ask you that most teams that come in as well, the teams that you're facing night in and night out, they're getting younger as well, correct? I mean, they've got the same philosophy, so that's got to play into it as well, is just kind of keeping up with the Joneses type thing.
I think the average age of most teams 24 to 25, and so they are fairly young. And like I said, these kids, they don't care if they're playing in Evansville, Florida, wherever. They really, you try to sell them the building and the crowds and stuff, and they're like, Coach, how are you going to get me to the American League?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll play anywhere if you can get me to the American League. I'll play.
Just give me some skates and a stick.
I'll play at Swander if you can get me to the American League. I don't care, but they want to hear that from their coach, that I'm going to try and promote you to the next level. And if you do what I'm asking you to do and come in here and play the way you're capable of, I'll do everything I can to get you to that.
And that's
level.
what this is all about.
Exactly.
At this level, that's what it's all about.
Pushing players through.
Yep.
And like Guy Lapine, I mean, I'm the happiest guy in the world for Guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's killing me and killing my team when he's not here. But for Guy, it's a fantastic
It's an
thing,
opportunity.
and it's a great story, and
Right.
it's a story I can take to kids next year and say, look what happened to Guy. I
Mm-hmm.
helped him get there, and I can do the same for you.
It's Ford and O'Brien, ESPN Evansville 105.3 and online, ESPNEvansville.com. Our weekly sit down with Evansville IceMen head coach Al Sims with this not always maybe, but the evolving roster, because at this level it's frequent. How has that worked for you? You've gone out and you've found some of these guys that you've been willing to trade for and make deals for. How quickly have they been assimilating themselves into the system? Have they come around pretty quickly? Has it been easy for them and easy for you as a coach to go, okay, here's what you're going to do, go do it?
Yeah, I think for Frazee it was pretty easy coming from Fort Wayne. My ex-assistant coach Gary Graham's there, and we were doing practice the other day, and he says, "I've seen a lot of these drills before." With Gary. So I said, "Yes, we coached together for 4 years, so we have a lot of the same thoughts and same ideas and systems and stuff." So he's grasped onto it real easy. Robin Sudak seems very adaptable to systems. He's one of those kids you can tell and do it on the board for him, and he goes out and does it right away. So. And you two kids from the Southern Pro League, Bo Driscoll and Daniel Sova, have really helped us on defense. When you get a couple of defensemen injured at this level, it kills you because you have to go to a lower level to get guys. But these two kids have come up and really helped us, as has Mark Antoine from Huntsville. So the fortunate thing for me, my son's playing in the Southern Professional Hockey League, and I've seen a lot of his games and a lot of the teams he plays against, and have actually been able to scout these teams and know who maybe I want before I call the coach. So it's really helped me that he's playing there.
Well, and your son was here for just how many? He played what, 1 or 2 games?
I think 2 or 3 games.
Was that the plan from the get go? Just a stopgap, so to speak.
Yeah, I think it was something we needed for the weekend, and then we got healthy, and he went back and started playing with his team again, and he's doing well down there. I think he's 3rd or 4th in scoring, and Hasn't played as many games as anybody else, but the coach is real happy with him, and he's enjoying it.
That's good. Ford and O'Brien, ESPN Evansville 105.3 and online, ESPNEvansville.com. And we were talking here before we went on the air. Still a lot of games left in this season. You guys probably aren't where you want to be as far as the league and the conference standings go. Are the playoffs still a thought, or are you going, I'm only a month into this? Is that thinking too far ahead? Where's your thought process on that?
Yeah, I think we have to look at the playoffs. I mean, when there's 60 points out there to be won or lost, it kind of, you go, wow, we do have a chance.
Right.
If we get 30 or 40 of those points, maybe we're a little closer. But, I think with us, it's baby steps, and with our team, and it's getting them to play 60 minutes first and then getting them to win a game like we did Friday night, 4-1, which was, unusual for us because usually the games we win are 3-2, 5-4, nail biters.
Right.
And to beat a team by 3 goals was huge for our confidence. And, unfortunately, the next night we're up 2-1 in the second, and a couple of quick goals flipped the game on us. But, I think these kids, need to learn about winning, and that feeling Friday night, we want to have it every night. And that's what I reminded them of Saturday. I said, remember this feeling because, you want it after every game. It's fun. The stereo's pounding and everybody's laughing and joking and having a great time. So, I think they'll get it eventually. And, there's no better cure for that than a couple of wins in a row and get some confidence and go from there.
Now, you guys have games coming up this weekend. 2 final home games, and you hit the road for a little bit. You got Indy coming down on Friday and Saturday, both games inside the Ford Center. Of course, we'll have them for you here on ESPN Evansville 105.3 with our coverage both nights starting at 7 o'clock. An Indy team, especially in this league, you see these teams multiple times over and over again. But as we've been discussing here for the last several minutes, roster changes is not just an Evansville IceMen thing. It happens in every team on this level. So essentially, the team may be the same in name, but how much do you look at maybe the roster changes they've made, and does that affect the way you game plan for them each time?
Yeah, it does. And, Indy's made a lot of changes. They were horrendous at the start of the season with 5 wins for the longest time. They made, I think, 6 player moves or 7, and they've started to turn it around and win a little bit here. So they're moving up the standings, and they're a team that's going the right way. And, hopefully our team's going to come around as well and, be competitive with them. I know we had them 1-0 last game, and, they scored at the very end. We played 58 pretty good minutes,
right.
And then the last 2 cost us a goal, and then overtime cost us a goal. But, to be ahead 1-0 in a game, I never imagined this team could do the way they were being scored on when I first came here. I never thought I'd see a game where we would be up 1-0 with 2 minutes to go. So, there's been a lot of signs of that there's improvement, but, it hasn't developed into consistent winning yet.
Right. Jimmy knows what it's like to watch a team play 58 good minutes, though, don't you?
Yeah, don't even talk about my Packers like that, man. They played 55 good minutes, and then Seattle played a few good minutes, and yeah, whatever.
I know the feeling, Jimmy.
How does he throw
I know
that
your
at
pain.
Me? How does he just go right over there? Hey, you know what? One last quick question for you, Coach. I don't like you anymore. You're changing conferences next year. You're going to the Western Conference, Midwest Division. Still will be Fort Wayne, Indy, Quad Cities. I think comes in there as well. Does that matter to a coach at all? You just go out and win hockey games, right? It doesn't matter. I don't care where you put me. Like you said, kids will play wherever if they get a chance to move up. Put me in whatever division, whatever conference you want. If I can win the damn thing, I don't care what you call it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think, as long as there's less travel for me, that's the best thing. I think, if we're in Alaska's division going to Alaska and stuff, I wouldn't like it and, would complain. But I think, where we are and where we're situated with Indy and Fort Wayne and Quad Cities and the teams that are close to us, I mean, it only makes sense. And I think, the rivalries will build with some new teams.
Yeah, and obviously Fort Wayne's still in there, so that's the built-in rivalry there, and Indy is becoming that also. This is their first year in the league.
Exactly.
So that will continue to build as well. So
so we're looking forward to it.
Best of luck this weekend, Coach. Thanks for stopping by. We'll talk again next week.
All right, thanks, guys.